All right, what's poppin', people? This is B Dog here. Um, we are going to discuss the FF7 20th anniversary announcements and things like that. This is a little discussion analysis type thing of anything I know. So let's begin. I will have a timestamp for each game I cover. I'm covering Ever Crisis, Crisis Core, and Rebirth. So yeah, timestamps in description. Let's begin. So another possibility for a remake. So obviously this is what some people actually want for a remake. For Ever Crisis, we're getting this like chibi looking old style FF in a mobile game. Not a big fan of that, but it seems from what we see here, it seems to be the same stuff like how President Shinra was actually here when Avalanche was blowing up one of the reactors. You know, a cloud, but Tifa was there obviously this time, right? It's another Crisis Core scene. But there's some interesting. This it looks good for a mobile game. And then they use a lot of the what seems to be the remake models for the game. Game's combat and it's turn-based, which some people also want it. But I like the little character renders here. I think they look really good for the game. I really like that. I got moves like Braver, Armor Break, Rakiri, Fire Blow. Like these are some new moves, so we're probably gonna get new moves in this game. Maybe some of these moves that we're seeing here will be implemented in the remake series. And obviously we got the summons here as well. Here's what was interesting here. We got new outfits in the game. So all the so people were wondering about the monetization of this game. So I'm predicting it's going to be around the different outfits characters can have and weapons and stuff like that. Like you can see here, Cloud looks like a samurai, which he looks really sick. And this makes me hoping for the rebirth we get like outfits that we could put on characters. We got Tifa with some kind of blue shirt type thing going on here. It looks really good. Like I'm digging the outfit thing. That's cool. I ain't paying money for it, but you know, it look real cool. We got Aerith in like a wedding dress. It looks like. But that seems to be all the interest. Well, there's one more interesting bit, but I think they've said this before, but that the game's gonna have its own stories, its own stories. So it seems like we're getting some young Sephiroth story here. And so what it seems like here, we see the different sword and the shorter hair. I think what we're gonna see for this is Sephiroth younger self. I think they've said this as well. And this may potentially show how he got the maybe how he got the Masamune. Maybe he had to kill someone to get it. But that's my prediction in terms of that. But I'd assume that they're gonna show how he got the Masamune and things about him as a character, and us getting to know Sephiroth as a character in Ever Crisis. So that's what I'm predicting here. Okay, now moving on to Crisis Core. Now I've never played this game, right? It was on the PSP, I'm aware, but I've never played this game. Now I do want to say about the reunion naming for this game, though, for the re-release of this game. It seems like they're going with the naming in these titles, like remake, rebirth, and we have reunion. Um, so it seems we're getting this naming structure with the RE for this remake series. But anyways, let's continue. So this is clearly the same CGI of the original game, obviously. And we have the old hilt, the original hilt of the Buster Sword. Thank you. I did not like the one they had in Crisis Core and Advent Children, and I thought it was pretty ugly. But that's just me. But anyways, we got it back. Right now, as we can see here in this game, the textures are a lot better, and so are the character models. You know, I think it looks really good. Obviously, it's downgraded compared to the remake series because they're putting this on all platforms, including the Switch, to have it run. And it seems to be the same combat system from what I've seen, but it seems more fluid, faster paced, and not as slow as the original one game from what I've seen. In the comment sections, you can let me know how the original was and give me your thoughts on that. But I'm just going off of how I see it. As someone who's never played the game, Now I do see on the right side from what I've seen in um, original footage, you had to cycle through commands just to do attack or different materials and stuff like that. But here in this game, it seems like we're getting like a hot bar or something, or shortcuts. I'm sorry, shortcuts to use abilities and magic and stuff like that. So that's a small minor change, but it seems to be the same combat overall. Now, why are we getting this game? Well, for one, I think this is gonna hold us over till Rebirth next winter because this is coming out this winter. Um, and also, obviously, they want us to know about Zack because Zack survived in a remake, so they want to get his game out there, right? And we're also getting Genesis. Now, this is one of the other reasons why I think we're getting this game. I think we're gonna see Genesis show up in Rebirth to a certain degree, maybe on Zack's side in his own timeline. Um, but I think that's why we're getting this because they want us to know about Zack. They want us to know about Genesis. We are gonna see these characters again in the trilogy of games, so that's pretty cool. Now I will say one thing I didn't like about, from what I've seen in this trailer, the dialogue sounds, except for Zack, but the dialogue from what it sounds like sounds kind of robotic, and I'm not a big fan of that because they don't sound like people. Like when Angel talked here about something about using the sword being bringing wear, tear, and rust, like he sounded like a robot, and I didn't like that. But obviously, this is an old game. They didn't really change much to the game besides cleaning it up, making the game look more fluid and stuff like that. But I will say, I think we are going to get something new in terms of the ending of the game. The ending's probably going to be the same, but maybe if you do certain conditions within this remaster slash remake, maybe there will be a new ending that point towards something for Rebirth that we need to pay attention to. But that's just a possibility. We'll have to wait and see till the game releases and we get it in our hands. Okay, now next up we have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. All right, I'm really excited about this one, so let's go. So first off, we're starting off with what seems to be under Midgar with the Maku particles here, right? Um, so we see now people were talking about this little white feather, right? Um, Now this is when Aerith was talking and people were wondering what it resembles. Now obviously the black feather resembles Sephiroth. Now the white feather I'm guessing resembles Aerith because she was talking during this segment, and that's what it seems to resemble to me. Now it could. Now some people say Angeal, and that's a possibility because I have seen one clip with where he had like white wings, which was kind of weird. But regardless, I'm gonna guess that it's Aerith because they are opposites of each other. These two are kind of like at a conflict with each other, and they both seem to know what's going on with like the world and with the time and stuff like that, right? And and now let's talk about her, what she said. Now she says here, what we've done that's set in stone. The past, that's forever, but the future, even if it has been written, can be changed. So focus on the future. Um, so she's probably aware that something in the past has changed when they killed the Whispers, an arbiter of fate or whatever, right? So she's aware. And she's probably aware that she's gonna die and all these other type of things in the events of the future. So she's probably more concerned about changing the future. She's probably aware of the Zack shenanigans going on, and she's saying just focus on that. Now, where is she saying this? I don't think she's saying this during the Calm flashback, because that's Cloud's time to shine, where he's the unreliable narrator, telling his story of with him and Sephiroth in Nibelheim. So I don't think this is where this is being discussed. I think that's being discussed. I'm gonna make a prediction and guess that it's somewhere in Cosmo Canyon, maybe potentially after you talk to Budahagen about this, or maybe even before. but that's where I'm gonna guess that she talks about that comment or that subject, right? And obviously we're gonna see here Zack walking with Cloud, and they're obviously heading to Midgar. And obviously the that meteor, that's another suggestion about change in the future to stop meteor from hitting the planet, right? So here in the next scene though, we have Cloud and Sephiroth walking together. This is the Nibelheim flashback. So the beginning of the game, we're gonna start off in with Cloud and Sephiroth going to Nibelheim reactor. Now this is gonna be cool because we're gonna have Sephiroth as a party member for the very beginning of the game, and he's probably Sephiroth. I'm gonna guess is probably gonna teach you how to play the game. Now, some people are wondering, are we going to get Sephiroth as a playable character? I don't think so. I think he's going to be just AI controlled character. I think it's gonna focus on you playing as Cloud. Um, that's my guess. But oh my god, I'm just realizing this. Where's the sword? Like, bro, like where does he hold that bitch? Does he just summon it? Like what the fuck? But anyways, um, but getting on with this trailer, or teaser. We do get some dialogue here from Cloud. He talks about he wants to finish what he has started. He wants to reclaim his birthright and rule the planet with Genoa by his side. So what does that mean? It's hard to say, but it might have some connections to do to rebirth. Um, Maybe the rebirth of Sephiroth in some kind of way. Um, where he's born again, because obviously he's stuck in the crater or whatever. But it's kind of hard to say what that actually means, um, right? So we'll have to just wait and see. But moving on, we do get another piece of dialogue, and that should be coming up. Where where Cloud talks about saying, "I saw you lying there, thinking it was too late." Now, this is obviously um, talking about Tifa when he saw her at the reactor almost get killed by Sephiroth. Pretty much thought she was a goner, but she wasn't. Um, so that's that. But Tifa responds with saying, "Wait, we're in the Shinra virtual reality type thing." Um, I think that's what she's referring to, right? Because he did see her and Barrett die, so he could have said something that where he thought they died and he kind of thought they were a imposter at one point or something like that, and maybe Tifa got upset. Maybe Barrett had something to say about that too. So I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see about that one. Obviously, they're walking some more. This is real pretty, real like goddamn. This is probably the mountain. Yeah, this is like the mountain on their way to the reactor. Like the reactor seems to be over here somewhere. I see Cloud moving over some rocks and stuff like that. Sephiroth just walking. Like I don't need to walk over that shit. So I'm curious how big this game's gonna be. It probably won't be hallways like the original remake game. I think this game's going to be um I think this game's gonna be more open ended, like an open area type thing, like let's say Dragon Quest 11 or like Xenoblade 1 or something like that. But not open world. That's my prediction with this because I don't think we're gonna get like an open world. But I think we're not gonna get hallways like that, like how we did in the remake version. Now, obviously, it says here what is fact and what is fiction. Now, obviously, this is gonna probably apply to Cloud because his mind's all messed up. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Like his memories are all jacked up from all the Maku poisoning and stuff like that. And when Zack told spoilers, but when Zack was dying, told Cloud to be his living legacy. He's a little messed up in the head, so he took it literal. His memory's kind of jacked up. So that's what I'm guessing is implying here with the what is fact and what is fiction, right? Um, so we see the white feather again. Again, I'm thinking this is referring to Aerith. But we're gonna talk about the dialogue here that was discussed here. So Cloud says, "You were here with me 5 years ago. Where are you? What happened to you?" Now, this does not sound like asshole Cloud that we get in remake. This sounds more like him before he became like an asshole, like his actual self. That's what it sounds like. Now, where is this being said at? It's hard to say. This could be the Cloud. Actually, I don't think so. I actually don't think so. But I think it is our current Cloud that we're going to be playing as. But maybe his old self pops out of him for whatever reason, whatever happens in the story. Um, Maybe while he's discussing about about what happened, where he puts himself in Zach's place. Maybe he kind of remembers Zach, and he was wondering what happened to him. Because he's talking about 5 years ago. He's not talking about Tifa. That would make sense. This piece of dialogue more applies to Zach than it does anyone else. But moving on, we have another piece of dialogue here where it talks about Aerith. I'm trying so hard to find you. Now I think that's going to be during some kind of event with Aerith where it's just you and Cloud. Um, because she says something similar to this during the Gold Saucer date, where she's trying to find him because he's not himself. So she's probably saying this during the Gold Saucer date or some other event where it's just him and her together. Um, and then the last piece of dialogue we have here says, "Sorry, I feel like I failed you." Now this sounds like probably Zach. It could be Zach. Now who is he saying this to? I don't know. That's it's kind of hard for me to tell. It's probably maybe something happened to this Cloud on the way to Midgar, right? Maybe something happened. I am not sure. Is very the Zach thing is a big question mark. I don't know where they're going with that. But it seems to be some different timeline stuff. But here we have the logo for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It has red in it. Now, the red could mean a multitude of things. Obviously, this means a bad thing. This is the second part in the trilogy. Now, this could be that bad things are going to happen to these characters. Um, Given if you played the original, obviously Aerith died, the North Crater, and things like that. So obviously this means bad things. This could also mean Genesis is coming back. Like I said, I think we're gonna see Genesis return in this remake trilogy. Now, what role is he gonna play? I'm not sure, but he's gonna play some role with his Zack. Maybe he'll team up with Sephiroth eventually. Who knows? Right. Um, but we will be getting this game next winter, only on the PS5, which is cool. You know, if you ain't got a PS5, better hope you get one soon, man. Hopefully you get one, cause you don't want to miss out on this. But um, yeah, that's pretty much it with the Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary stuff. I will be making more content on this, so thanks for watching. If you enjoy, do hit the like and subscribe button. And I will be making more content on FF7, Xenoblade, and other things of the like. All right, well, catch you next time. Peace.